So he's kind of the same story that I am. We both took a lot of time off. He raised his son, and I did the same thing. It was 27 years from the time I started playing again, from the time that I quit. And Darrell, I don't know if Darrell took that quite that
About
much
20.
time off, but he actually played in the praise band at church. Darrell writes music, records music, does photography. I mean, he's just super talented guy. Uh, it's kind of a funny story because I met him years and years ago when I was playing in a band with a friend of mine named Steve Flores. He's actually out in California now, and I had met Darrell. Actually lived in my neighborhood. He lived next to one of my best friends for a short time. So he didn't remember me though. I can't believe it.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Music Matters on That podcast. I'm your host, Brian. And today I welcome back a special guest. It was our boy, Tom Counts. And he actually brought a friend along this time called Darrell. And actually, he's now recently joined a group. We got the Creepy Crawlerz. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Still part of North Carolina.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Fayetteville, North Carolina. So, yeah, I've actually did an interview with you before. Been a couple years.
Something like
back
that,
when
yeah.
you were interviewing all the YouTube drummers, you actually did one with me.
I was to say, yeah, I think you had just retired not too long ago when we did that interview. And that time, I think you were just doing your drum covers for your YouTube channel. And then I think it was just recently you had reached out to me about the Creepy Crawlerz that you were a part of. So
this is Darrell Collins. Darrell Collins has been he's been around the scene around this area for a long time. Darrell was actually one of the first heavy metal bands here in Fayetteville. He started Overlord, and they actually were on some compilation albums. What was the name of the compilation?
Metal Massacre.
Yeah, he was on the Metal Massacre albums, and actually one of them Metallica was on.
Yeah, that was Metallica's first recording, was Metal Massacre 1. Overlord, I can't remember if we were on 3 or 7. And it's like different, compilation, different bands. They did new up and rising metal bands. But it didn't go very far for us.
So he's kind of the same story that I am. We both took a lot of time off. He raised his son, and I did the same thing. It was 27 years from the time I started playing again, from the time that I quit. And Darrell, I don't know if Darrell took that quite that
About
much
20.
time off, but he actually played in the praise band at church. Darrell writes music, records music, does photography. I mean, he's just super talented guy. It's kind of a funny story because I met him years and years ago when I was playing in a band with a friend of mine named Steve Flores. He's actually out in California now, and I had met Darrell. Actually lived in my neighborhood. He lived next to one of my best friends for a short time. So he didn't remember me though. I can't believe it. But yeah, we lived in the same neighborhood for a short time, and
Everything's a circle.
yeah, everything's a circle. It all came back together a couple of years ago. We started playing with a couple other guys. We're just getting together for fun, and we ended up getting pretty serious about it. But that kind of fell through. A couple of people had different visions of what we had, and after that was done, Darrell and I kept on playing music together, and he's a great friend, and I'm privileged to be able to play music with him. Our sound man Butch is over there in the corner, so he comes with the package too. So that's pretty much the story right now. We're writing music. Darrell does all the writing. We bounce ideas off one another. We actually got our first single out on Apple Music, Spotify, and the other streaming platforms. So, name of the band is the Creepy Crawlerz. Now, there is a Creepy Crawlerz in Dayton, Ohio.
That we just found out about.
Mm-hmm. We just found out about them. So, we're going to change our S to a Z.
From Crawlerz.
Yeah, from Crawler, Crawlers, to the Crawlerz. So we've got our music is copyrighted, and we got a trademark application in for the name as well. So that's what's going on with us.
So check out I Shot an Alien, E.T. Alien.
Actually, I did check it out last night. I would say, yeah, you guys got some good skills there now.
So Brian's a drummer.
Okay.
Brian is a drummer, a good drummer, and that's how we became acquainted through YouTube drumming.
Okay, you got your own channel, Brian?
Yeah, I have a couple channels actually, and what I recently did this year, I split it up actually. So the one under my name is just mainly podcast interviews, and now I got a drum channel, which is strictly the Real BG's Drum Cave. It's where I do all my drum covers now.
Cool. I'll check you out. Right after we get done, I'm gonna check you out.
Yeah, so you got that kit last Christmas, right? The Roland.
It was a Christmas gift to myself. Yeah.
He's got a nice Roland electronic kit, and I tried to bribe him into letting me use it, but he said that would cost money. So so that's how we became acquainted. So how's things been going for you?
It's been going. I would say it's tough business doing a main job, and then you also have a secondary part-time job, which helps pay for the gas and rent and all the other stuff. So I keep myself busy. And then YouTube, all that stuff is.
Have you ever played in bands? Or what do you do with that? Because
strictly.
Tom ain't gonna last too long. I need a.
He's trying to recruit you.
I'm just kidding.
He's gonna say you're gonna drop over and die soon, Tom. That should be an offense.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I am a senior citizen.
I mean, hey, he's still going strong, and I'll give Tommy credit where credit's due. That was some good drumming on there. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
But to answer your question, sorry, but actually, Darrell, to answer your question, I'm actually part of a couple studio bands. I do drums and vocals for both of them, and one's called Demiurge, and the other one is called Nocturnal Monarch.
Are y'all heavy duty or what kind?
We're heavy as we're metal. So yeah, I like to keep it that way too. So I guess outside of the Creepy Crawlerz and I guess whatever else you guys are doing, I guess what's been new? I guess got any other hobbies you guys been doing recently?
Well, we've been trying to do this as much as possible.
Yeah,
Darrell,
this is our hobby. I guess.
Darrell's photographer and editor and all that by trade. I'm retired. Well, I retired from Goodyear. I did 41 years with Goodyear, and I still pastor. I pastor a small church, and other than that, that's this is how we blow off steam. We get together and we make some music, and I get in trouble because I order new toys. My wife knows when I get on eBay, I usually end up with something. So I gotta stay off of eBay. I'm putting myself on restriction for a little bit.
It's harder to do with drums. On guitar, if you just buy the same kind of guitar, the same color, the wife will never know the difference. Don't you have one like that? And I said, no, this is the same one.
That's one way to get around the wife, if we want to say it's a loophole in a manner of speaking. So
yeah.
I guess Darrell.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, what was your backstory? I guess how did you become a musician?
Oh, I guess when I was in kindergarten and heard the Beatles, that was the start of it. Let's see. I guess I started playing. My first bands was like in sophomore in high school. Matter of fact, when I was in high school, it seems like I was playing more then than I am now. That was a band called Fantasy, which the singer ended up going to a band that I was in, Overlord. Let's see what else have I done. Delilah, we were heavy duty. You'd like that band, Brian. I have to send you some of that stuff. And let's see what else we
did. Reagan.
Yeah, I was in a band called Reagan. That was before, I think Ronald Reagan won presidency, and we had to get rid of that name. So Reagan came from The Exorcist. That was a girl's name in it. And then Ronald Reagan became president, so we got to drop that. Not that we didn't like him. I love him, but we had to drop it. I don't know what else.
You did the praise band. What was the name of that Christian band that you were in?
Went to Moscow, played some shows in Moscow. That was an experience. I couldn't believe the women over there in Moscow. They were dressed to kill, and all the guys were like bums. It was unbelievable. Anyway, I grew up, let's see, Beatles started it off, and then when I was a big Kiss fan, and then I saw Rush open up for Kiss, and it was all about Rush then. And then it wasn't long after that I saw AC/DC, and that changed everything right there. That energy, that was no gimmick, just pure energy, and that's what I like. Alice Cooper, saw Alice Cooper a couple times. And that's kind of what we're doing now. I guess our style's Alice Cooper, Ace
Frehley,
Kicks,
stuff like that. Just good time rock and roll. That's what we like to play.
Good time rock and roll with a hard edge to it.
Yeah.
Make the girls want to dance, I guess.
See, here's the thing. We got music that we love, but it may not be the music that the girls love. So we got to play stuff that girls like as well. Because if you don't, then the women ain't happy, and the women ain't happy, the men ain't happy. So that's a trickle down effect. But we try to play stuff that everybody likes, and around this area you have to do some covers. I mean, no matter how much original stuff you have, you still got to do, unless you're well known, you still got to do some stuff that people like and can dance to and things like that. So, but Darrell, he was one of the musicians that I would see when I was younger. And I'd say, man, I sure would like to play with that guy one day. And this is how it happened. It all happened because I was jamming with another band, and that band fell through. And one of the guys that I knew from work, this was the guy that sang in our last band with me and Darrell, but he knew Darrell because they grew up in the same neighborhood. And then he brought me out here to Darrell's house, and this is where, we do our studio. I'll give you a quick tour right fast. So this is where
the
magic happens. So can you see that, Brian?
It's a little blurry, but I can make out that's your drum set over there. And then
let me see here. We got the drum set and got the amps and the workstation for recording and different things of that nature. And Darrell makes all of his own guitars. He builds his own guitars and basses. So he does all that himself.
And it's funny, I'll build them for me, and people will build me one, but if I have to build it how somebody else wants it, it just bores me. I can only make it how I want it to be, or it's no fun.
Hold on. We got to get our sound guy here. That's Butch Hurley.
Hey, how's it going there?
Howdy. How you doing,
So
Butch?
Butch is part of the package because he's just as important as we are. We're only as good as our sound guy. So, but we're having fun. I mean, just if we make $1, fine. If we don't, fine. I mean, we're just having fun playing music together. So we don't live too far apart either. So just a few minutes down the road.
Yeah, we used to also talk at the music store. I used to work at a record store, Paradise Records, and Tom would come in. We'd talk a lot.
He tried to talk. See, I used to buy 8-tracks. I had an 8-track player in my 74 Nova. And I had a Sparkomatic booster system, if you remember those. Now, I'm aging myself a little bit. But I had an 8-track player. And Darrell said, man, you need to go to cassettes. And no, I need to buy an 8-track. But then, yeah, exactly. I ended up getting an 8-track player. I mean, a cassette player. And then about the time I broke down to get a cassette player, that's when the CDs come out. Then I was trying to find cassettes everywhere. You know how those old people are, man. Yeah.
I mean, that's totally how it happened. So yeah.
Well, I wasn't too late on the video stuff. So I had a young child, so I wasn't too late on the video stuff. It got the combination Blu-ray VHS player. So I mean Blu-ray and what do they call them? Disc, Blu-ray, not Blu-ray disc. Your movie disc. So I had a combination one of those. I had a disc and a VHS.
So what was your first album you ever had? You remember buying?
Black Sabbath, Paranoid.
That was one of my first.
That's the first album I ever bought with my own money. Absolutely.
James Gang Rides Again was my first. And then Sladist.
So Black Sabbath, I bought Black Sabbath, Paranoid, and Elton John, Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I bought those. Those were the first 2 albums I bought. And then, I grew up on, I had an older brother, almost 12 years older than me. So he always had Beatles or Blood Rock or something like that. But then he'd buy albums like the Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose and stuff like that. So, I mean, I had a wide variety of stuff I listened to. Now, my mom and dad, country music. My dad was hardcore country music. Now I'm talking about Hank Williams, Charlie Pride. And what got me away from that, listening to country music all the time, because we were the typical Southern family. We watched Hee Haw on Saturday nights and different things like that. But my dad had one 8-track tape. He had a Charlie Pride Greatest Hits. And we would go to Virginia every summer to visit my grandparents. So he had one tape. We rode 4.5 hours to Virginia, one 8-track tape. And I don't know how many times we heard that Charlie Pride tape on the way up and all the way back. And after that, that was a wrap. No more of that country music stuff. But now the stuff that's country music, I would consider Southern rock now. Because we all went and saw Blackberry Smoke last year. I love Blackberry Smoke. I mean, they're a great band, and they're actually independent. So they had the last album they put out went #1. So that type of music that they consider country music is actually more like Southern rock nowadays. Now, what I consider metal in my day would be considered maybe like hard rock now, because Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Saxon, Iron Maiden, all those type of bands would not be really considered the metal genre now. The metal genre that is not the metal genre that we knew growing up. So the stuff that you listen to is a little bit hardcore compared to what we used to listen to growing up. Yeah. We grew up on the 80s stuff, 70s and 80s stuff. So there were some good bands back then too. So we had the Allman Brothers, Leonard Skinner, all those bands around this area in the South. And Allman Brothers, in my opinion, is one of the greatest bands that ever been around, because musically, I saw Greg Allman several years ago at Coca Booth Amphitheater with the Doobie Brothers. Doobie Bray was some lady from Canada. She did sing. I can't remember her name, but she did like an acoustic set. Then the Doobie Brothers came on, and then Greg Allman came afterward. And man, you could not, man, musically, Greg Allman band was fantastic. And that was in the Allman Brothers. That was, man, that was the standard of Southern music. So that type of stuff has an influence, and we have the metal stuff that we grew up with, and the hard rock stuff like AC/DC, and of course Alice Cooper, then Kiss. I mean, Kiss was a standard. I mean, that's in the time that we grew up, Kiss was a standard. I mean, that was shock rock. Now, we wouldn't call that shock rock nowadays, but it's the theatrics and everything that Kiss put on is fantastic. I mean, if you've never been to a Kiss show, you've missed out, because they really put on a show. And that's mainly what people went for. They never claimed to be the greatest musicians, but they knew how to put on a show and draw the audience in. And we want to draw people in, but we're not, we don't want to do gimmicks and all that other stuff to get people to come and see us. We just want people to have a good time and enjoy the music that we play.
You don't want to spit fire or do the whole blood deal that Gene Simmons was doing?
Now, I wouldn't mind doing the rise and drum riser, just as long as I don't have to go up too high, because me and heights don't get along too well.
It would be a fall from grace in that case.
So my son had never seen Kiss. So right before everything shut down in 2020, they played in Greensboro, North Carolina. David Lee Roth was the opening act. I took my son and my nephew. Yeah, they were just in awe. And I'll tell them.
And that wasn't even in your heyday.
No. I said, this is what's fixing to happen. I mean, I could tell them just about every sequence what was going to happen during the show. I said, he's going to do his guitar solo, and he's going to shoot a laser up and hit something. And I mean, this is just stuff that their show now is on a grander scale, but it's basically the same stage show that they've always put on.
Yeah, one thing I used to love doing, Brian, back when I was in, I guess, a senior in high school, I got my first 35 millimeter camera, was being the first person at the concert and making my way straight up to the stage at the front before there was seating. That was, what do you call it, the festival seating.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got some pretty cool shots of Kiss and AC/DC, Alice Cooper. I loved it, to get up there and take pictures. And they didn't care if you brought the camera in back then. And then it got to where I had to hide my camera.
See, everything was general admission. We used to, out here at the Cumberland County Arena, when Beach Club Promotions had it, we had a lot of big bands that came out here. Even when Boston was big, when they first came out, they came out here with Sammy Hagar was the opening act. And
I got pictures.
Yeah, and he's Darrell's. He's got several pictures. If you'll,
I think I took them down.
Yeah, so he has several pictures, close-ups. Because general admission, you're the first one there. You get up to the stage, and you're standing the whole show. It's kind of like if you go to a show at the House of Blues. If you don't buy a table, it's just general admission. You're standing. Now, when I go to shows, I had a place that I used to always like to sit, and they sell out, and they may hold 7,000-8,000 people, but they had so many acts come through because they had such a great promotion. But ever since they built the new arena, they don't have half the draw of what they don't have any big shows out there anymore. And it's a shame, because we got a pretty nice place to have it, but we just don't have the promotions in Fayetteville. So if you want to go see a decent band, you got to go to places like Raleigh or Charlotte or Greensboro, the bigger cities.
What Fayetteville had, we were just a couple of miles up I-95, and it used to be so easy for the bands to jump off at 95 and do a show here, then hit the road down to the next one. But now we're just too little, I guess.
I think the last concert I saw before COVID hit was The Who. And that was obviously a lot older. So, but I think it was after COVID. I saw Kiss.
Was Joan Jett the I saw the Who with Joan Jett as the opener. That
Yep.
was in 2015. Yeah. So I think the last one. Now Darrell and I just went and saw Skillet and Jeremy Camp and We Are Messengers. It's a Christian show that was out at the auditorium. Well, they call it the Crown Coliseum.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good show. And
Skillet was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed. Jen Ledger is a fantastic drummer. She's an English lady. She is fantastic, and she hits hard, dude. You think some of these metal drummers hit hard? That woman hits hard, and she plays with big fat sticks too. I'll play with a 5B or a 5A. I know she had to have a 1B if they even make such a thing that big. But it looked like she had a ball bat was hitting them drums and hitting hard too, fast. Yeah, I was impressed. I really was. But the two women were the best part of the show. The one guy
don't make her angry. So yeah.
So who's this girl for Rush gonna play?
That's Annika Niles. She toured with Jeff Beck.
Okay.
She can play. She's. I would love to go see Rush again just for nostalgia's sake, but I don't want to see Geddy Lee trying to struggle to hit parts vocally. Musically, I know it's going to be fantastic, and I could probably get tickets at a reasonable price. But I just don't want to blow the memory of the last time I saw him with the Professor. You know, it's Neil Peart's a hard act to follow.
Now you're talking about big drumsticks. You ever see Bunny?
Oh, Bunny,
Cheap Trick?
Carlos, yeah. You ever seen Cheap
What
Trick?
were those?
He come
Ball
out.
bats?
He had 3 foot long sticks that he would come out and he'd do like a 16-bar solo with them. First time I saw Cheap Trick, this was out here at our local arena, and it was Cheap Trick. It was AC/DC and a band from around here, Nantucket. Nantucket, I thought was going to take off, but they really didn't take off like I thought they would. But Bunny Carlos, he did like a 16-bar solo with these sticks, and they were that long, no lie, 3 foot long. And this was what they were known for. And he would sit there. He'd almost look like he was a blues brother. And he'd have a cigarette stuck in his mouth the whole time he's playing. Button-down shirt, tie. That Cheap Trick is a fun show, man.
Yeah.
They are really fun. But yeah, I don't know what size. He had many ball bats he was hitting them doggone drums with. So that was yeah, that's some of the stuff that influenced us growing up. You know.
How about some of your influences, Brian?
So I technically got to the heavy
Early.
metal stuff a little late, but I didn't pick up drums until like a decade ago. Before then, I was mainly doing like cello work, and I did some bass, but I never really got committed to playing bass. So, but drumming
What was
wise,
your
first album I bought?
Yeah.
That's a tough
You can
one.
always tell.
My dad was obviously real big into the classic rock too. So I'm going to say the first one I probably bought personally, Vertical Horizon's Running on Ice.
I don't know if I know that.
So actually, they became
Were they
more well known. I forget if they're California, but the album that really propelled their career was Everything You Want. So that's the one that had like all their
Check it
hits and everything. So yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, but to also answer your question, Darrell,
So
in
you
terms of
started out
influences.
playing.
Sorry, but in terms of influences, Pete Sandoval, George Corliss, and let's see, I think I'll say Mitch Harris from Napalm Death were big influences on my drumming style.
Trying to think of somebody that.
Now the guy that played, there was a band from Raleigh named Cry of Love, and the guitar player or the drummer played for Corrosion of Conformity. He went on tour with them. They had a hit in the 90s. What was the name of that song?
Don't know.
I know the name of it. I know it like that's my alarm clock waking up, and I can't think of the name of the song. I'm having a senior moment. But I think it was the drummer that toured with Corrosion of Conformity. So, and the guitar players played with several artists over the years. Done a lot of studio work, but there's a couple of big names that come from around here. You know, Charlie Daniels is from North Carolina. Who else? Jimmy Herring, that plays with Widespread Panic. He's from here in Fayetteville. We got a couple guys that we know that had played with bigger acts. So it's not as prevalent right in our area in North Carolina as it is like, say, Pittsburgh or Philadelphia or, you know, some places bigger and more populated. Had a friend of mine from California just came in the first part of the month, and he visited. And he stopped by and we played a little bit. So it's one of the guys I played in the band with before he moved out west. He's played in several bands out, and they played at the Whiskey and different places like that. But he actually was a dialysis technician while he was trying to make it big, and he ended up working for a sound company. So that's what he's been doing for the last several years, is working with a sound company. So he's doing what he loves. He's just not on the stage. He's just hanging cables and all the other good stuff that goes along with hooking up sound equipment, which you get our age, it gets heavier each time we move it. So even we've done a couple things out in, you know, Darrell's got a pretty big lot out in Grays Creek. So we've done a couple parties out here, and just getting the stuff out and setting it up and putting it away that's hard stuff, man. It's not easy.
That's why Butch does it, man.
That's why we got Butch. Butch is a muscle.
He does all the heavy lifting. So yeah.
Yeah, we do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, I'm 74.
He's 74. That's why we let him do all the heavy lifting.
He's the oldest one and does all the work.
So
get some exercise. It's good for you. So yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
We're putting you down. We're going to recruit you as a sound man too. Drummer / sound man.
I can only do so much.
Fun.
So yeah.
Okay, I hear you. But I don't know. You pretty stout fella. I think you could handle some amplifiers and PA cabinets and all that good stuff. So we're just having fun, man. That's what it's all about. You know, if you're not having fun, it ain't worth doing. So if we get anything out of it, we're having fun. Make friends, have fun, some good fellowship, and that's a big percentage of it. You know, you talk to a bodybuilder will tell you that 80% of what they're doing is diet. The other 20% is the physical part. Same thing with playing music. It's about having fun and camaraderie. If you don't have that, it just takes away from it, and then it's something you dread doing instead of something you want to do. So, hey, I did my 41 years working first. Now I can be a starving musician. So I just crossed it up. I didn't do the starving musician thing first. Neither did Darrell. So
I never went into it 100%. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I guess let's go ahead and talk about your new song, I Shot at Alien, with the creepy Crawlerz. So I guess fill the audience in, I guess, what's it about? And then what do you guys plan on doing, I guess, for this year?
Well, we just tried a new singer out today, and that's going to work out great. He's saying, oh, he can kill it. Because the last band we were in, when it fell apart, I told Tom, I said, let's just do our own album. I'll do the rhythm guitar, the bass, you do the drums, and we'll just get guest lead guitarists to come in on each song. That's how it started. But then we met up with John, the guitar player, and so we started doing our own singing for a while, and we're writing the songs. And then I asked this old friend of mine, to come in today, and he's going to kill it. So yeah, we're ready to really get it together now. I shot an alien, just came from, I don't know, I just had a thought with all the alien stuff going on. What if you came across an alien and you had to shoot it and kill it? I mean, or either get killed, and it's like, what would happen? Would you get arrested for shooting an alien? I don't know. And we just did a play off of that, getting arrested for shooting an alien.
The Invaders, all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah, I used to. You remember a show called The Invaders? It's kind of a takeoff of that. Also, an old show back in the late '60s, early '70s.
So you'd always have an alien. They're distinguishing characteristics of the alien, but after they would shoot the alien, he turned red and disappear. And that's part Darrell put in the video of the alien getting shot that's on the grass, and all of a sudden he turns red and then he's gone. So that's kind of a play off of the Invaders.
Yeah.
So
it's like, how you going to charge us for murder if you ain't got a body? What do they call that? Corpus
delicti or something. So we just, just to play off of that. And it was basically an idea one day that Darrell, we had come over, and one of the guys that was playing guitar with us, he couldn't make it. He lives probably about an hour away from here, and he had broke down. So myself and the singer and Butch was already here, and Darrell was here. Well, Darrell said, well, let's go over a couple of these things. And he threw a rhythm down. And I said, man, I really like that. And then James was good about coming up with words on the spot. That's the guy that used to sing with us. He could come up with words on the spot. But Darrell had already had this idea about the song. I Shot an Alien.
I suggested it for the band name.
Yeah.
And nobody liked it. And I said, I don't care. I'm making a song out of it, and I like it.
Well, I liked I Shot an Alien.
Okay.
I wasn't hard to get along with.
So go ahead.
But anyway, so he wrote the song, and it fit perfect with the music. So instead of us trying to rack our mind up and say, oh, we're going to put this, that, and the other, Darrell had already had it wrote out, and he's, hey, let's do this. And he ended up singing it. And we kind of put it together with the last band, but after all that kind of fell through is when Darrell and I,
we said, we ain't stopping.
Nah, we're not stopping. We went ahead and got the basics recorded, and we asked a guy named Darrell asked a guy named Tommy Alexander. He's played around here quite a bit. Legend. So he came out and laid down the lead for us. That's the guy with the long hair and the mustache. So that's Tommy Alexander. And then we have Jeff Cooney. He's another local musician.
He played the newscaster.
He played the newscaster, and he actually played the alien as well.
Yeah.
And Darrell's wife was the reporter at the courthouse, and Butch was the man in black. He had the suit on, and we just had a.
You got to watch. It's just fun. We just want people to laugh, not laugh at us, but laugh with us, I guess.
So we just had a blast doing that. That's how just science fiction shows and stuff like that. And it's people that.
Most of our songs have a little bit of sense of humor.
Yeah.
It's heavy, but a little bit of sense of humor kind of to it.
So tell them about Talkie Tina.
Talkie Tina. Twilight Zone episode. I don't know if you've ever seen the Talkie Tina episode, my favorite episode, and it just hit me. It's like, I'm going to write a song about that. And that's what we did. And that's the one everybody seems to like the most.
The name of the episode was Living Doll. I don't know if you...
Telly Savalas.
We have a hard time trying to find clips of that thing on YouTube or anything else, but... Talkie Tina was like a precursor to a Chucky doll. So it didn't matter what you did to Talkie Tina, she won't going away. And when we get that thing finally finished, I mean, we got the basics laid down. We got to get a lead laid down and a couple other things mastered up. It's a mess. It's good. It's something I would buy. Just, and I'm not just saying that. I'm picky about what I buy. That's something I would buy. It's fun.
And then we got one called Ann Lover.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty funny.
Play on words.
About a little girl I grew up with named Ann Lover. And so I introduce her to my wife and say, honey, this is my old friend, Ann Lover. And then she slaps me. It's like, what's that for? That's her name.
Then we got one, we're just putting the basics down called Right Now in a Minute. And Darrell's got a story on that. So.
Oh, yeah. Growing up, my mom, get in there and clean your room up. Get in there and do this. And me and my brother, our response was always, okay, right now in a minute. And I don't know why we decided that just came to us one day. Let's do a song.
And when he had setting up his sound equipment stuff down here, he was doing it to make sure make sure everything was doing like it was supposed to. So Darrell did the drums, the bass, guitar, and the whole 9 yards, and played a sample of it for.
It just came together. I said, let me just play the drums, make sure all my tracks are recording, and I did a little drum beat. Said, okay, that's good. Let me just do a little bass to that, and then I did a rhythm guitar, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, this is gonna be a song right here. Just came out of nowhere.
It's got a cool hook to it.
It's funky. It's a funky one.
It's got a cool hook to it. So it's just that's kind of our writing method. I mean, we don't sit down and
then we got one, Addicted to Loves.
Yeah.
Take off of Addicted to Love. Addicted to Love's a truck stop. About your girlfriend, all she wants to do, she's addicted to going and hanging out at the truck stop. It's like, come on.
So you
quit going there and begging for money and doing all that stuff you do.
So you're familiar with Buc-ee's, right? You have
those Buc-ee's.
You have Wawa. Love's is a big chain of truck stops. Butch used to be
Butch is the trucker, so he can tell you about the girls that used to hang around the truck stops.
What they call them, Butch?
Lot lizards.
Lot lizards. They called them lot lizards because they're there trying to make $1. When the truckers come in, they want to see if the truckers want a date so Love's is a big chain of truck stops.
At least around here it is.
Yeah, around here it is. I know there's been some of those that have like shower rooms. They have all kinds of other stuff. I mean, these are like many hotels.
Now, Buc-ee's even have restroom attendants, hand you the towel to wash your hands with. I mean, this high dollar restrooms in those at Buc-ee's.
So instead of Addicted to Buc-ee's or Wawa or anything like that, Addicted to Love's. The Addicted to Love song by Robert Palmer, now Addicted to Love's, but it's a whole different subject. So so it's fun stuff
just
like
having
that.
Fun.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Made up stuff.
That'll explain a metal band that I had interviewed out of Tennessee. Their name is Truck Stop Dick Pill.
Really?
That's literally what I was envisioning. So, yeah. Sorry?
I was watching a little bit you were doing the other day, talking about somebody about metalcore and what else you were talking about. I have to go back and look at it, but I was catching one of your interviews the other day.
What do you think about that first Metallica album, Kill 'Em All? Wasn't that the first one? Because when I first heard that, it's like, oh my goodness, what in the world are they? That blew my mind. How fast and heavy those guys were on that album.
I think the first one was the Garage Incorporated or one of those two, but Kill 'Em All, if we're saying official.
All about that.
But if we're saying official, we can definitely say Kill 'Em All. And yes, I love Hit the Lights. I will repeat that solo X amount of times.
Okay.
Courtesy of Dave Mustaine. Also, I will say No Remorse as the best song they have ever made. It's definitely got a catchy hook in the beginning right there, just for that first minute.
What about the Black Album? They get a lot of slack about that. Did you like that one?
It was different. So, I mean, I got no beef with it at all. I was fine with it, but I would say after that.
An old drummer friend of mine, he said that, Lars, he wanted to record his drums with no EQ, no anything, just straight to the mic, to the console. And that's what they did on that album, but I don't know if that's true. Have you heard that same thing?
Not really.
I know the drums on Saint Anger sound terrible.
Maybe that's the one. One of the albums, he didn't want no EQ, no anything, just straight drums.
Saint Anger, they started recording it at Presidio out in San Francisco. This was after it was decommissioned as a military base. So they were actually at the Presidio, and I think James Hetfield has stepped away. They got an old documentary on the thing, but the drum sound he was going for just sounded like trash cans. It was horrible.
That's probably it.
So it was, it was terrible. That album was not very good. So I it wasn't well thought out. I mean, it was just sounded like it was something just put on the spot, just to fill space.
So, what album you think has the best drum sound? Everybody talks about Zeppelin, but I wasn't crazy about it.
You know, Led Zeppelin 4 was good. John Bonham just had a sound all his own. I got to go to Rush 2112. Rush 2112 is one of my favorites. And just Neil Peart stuff on that. I mean, and the stuff he was doing then was considered impossible, but listening to some of these guys now.
How about Bobby Caldwell, Captain
Oh,
Beyond?
yeah, that guy from... Now, this is a band you maybe not have ever heard of. It's called Captain Beyond. It had members from Iron Butterfly.
Yeah.
Who else? There was...
First singer for Deep Purple.
Yeah,
was their
first singer for Deep Purple. Then...
I think Rhino, the guitar player, was Iron Butterfly.
Yeah.
And the bass player was.
So they put together a band called Captain Beyond. I'm telling you, that's good stuff. They
should have been big.
They should have been
big. They had no promo.
But they're pretty heavy. I mean, this was like 71, 72 or something like that. And these guys were they were excellent. Darrell turned me on to him. Actually, he gave me a challenge. He said, "Okay, I want you to cover this song," and it was "Dancing Madly Backwards." Isn't that the name of it?
Yeah.
Dancing Madly Backwards. And I was sitting there dancing madly backwards. So I actually bought the album and I started listening to it. That was pretty difficult. You start listening to it, then they start doing some real difficult time changes. And I love stuff like that.
He's kind of jazzy and hard rock and mixed it all up.
See, I love stuff with time changes. Now, don't get me wrong, I like just beating the devil out of the song just straight through. But I always like stuff that's got different time changes. I don't know if you saw the cover I put up the other day. I put up a cover of Government Mule song. And it's called Blind Man in the Dark. But it starts out and it sounds like an easy beat to go to, but it's got some difficulty to it. And then you get down toward the end, and Warren Haynes just does some crazy stuff on his songs. But I like stuff like that. But I like playing the three chords and the true stuff too. So that's the fun stuff. I mean, you just go at it. So I try to stay more in pocket. You know, chops have their place, but you know, it's easy when you got a bass player that you can bounce off of, and Darrell makes it easy.
Now, what about Phil Rudd?
I like Phil Rudd.
He says he's one of the greatest rock and roll drummers of all time.
Phil Rudd is he's
solid.
He's solid. Somebody was talking about him in the studio.
Genius to do that style, really.
Yeah, they're talking about him in the studio. They're talking about how hard he hits. He really doesn't on stage. He really don't look like he's hitting hard. But there was the ball-headed guy. can't remember his name, but he stepped in for Phil Rudd. Yeah. Then when Phil Rudd come back, and then he was doing recording, they're talking about how hard he hit, how the engineer had to do some circles to try to get the drum sound right because how hard Phil Rudd hit. I like Phil Rudd. Phil Rudd, stuff looks simple. A lot of people do stuff that looks simple that's really not that simple when you think about it. Charlie Watts is a prime example. Charlie Watts, you're thinking, but he's actually playing the beat backwards. We're thinking, as drummers, boom, 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 he's going. That comes from a jazz background. So all those English drummers, they all had a big jazz background. Ian Pace, Bill Ward, you got Ginger Baker, Charlie Watts, actually Nico McBrain. Nico's an excellent drummer.
Didn't Neil Peart try to take lessons to do some jazz?
Neil Peart, actually, he said he never picked up a stick with this guy, but this was a well-known jazz player, and all that they did was talk. They talked about motion and different things like that. So that's when he went back to a traditional grip for a little while. He'd switch back and forth from a match grip to a traditional grip. But Neil does some fantastic things, man. He really does. If you listen to that Hemispheres album and Farewell to Kings, the song Farewell to Kings, there's that one section in there that I'm just looking at him with my mouth dropped. And then you'll see a 6-year-old kid do something like that on YouTube.
Yeah.
And Brian, I know you get the same feeling. You want to just throw your sticks away.
Or is it AI?
No, these are kids that are, I
Okay.
mean, I'm sitting there watching these kids and I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me. I'm throwing my sticks away. I'm done. But, it's just, you got prodigies and everything. It's just nowadays you can see them more than you could back then because we didn't have all the social media and the YouTube and all that stuff back then. But, yeah, so I'm just rambling right now. But it's,
It's therapeutic.
As a drummer, because I've listened to several of your videos and some of the stuff you played, it can get scary hard to play. And then you see a kid doing it. You're like, man, come on, really? I've worked for 40 hours on this thing. And now this kid's over here doing this thing like it's nothing and makes it look like it's so easy. So,
well, it is to him.
Yeah, it is. Some people are just naturals at everything. You got prodigies and everything.
Ringo.
Ringo.
Is he
Love
good?
Ringo. Oh, Ringo's a beast. Ringo, before there was grids and all that stuff, you can listen to a song that Ringo did and try to duplicate it.
He played to the song.
He is the epitome of a drummer because he plays what the song needs. He doesn't overplay, he doesn't underplay. But if you listen to his consistency, because they didn't have all those tools back then recording stuff that they got now. Ringo, and he's fast. I mean, he's super fast. Everybody says, oh, Ringo's trash. Listen to some of those things on Revolver and some of those albums and you try to play them. You tell me how much trash he is. Because he's one of the highest paid drummers in the world. Because played with Tom Petty and George Harrison. He's got his all-star band. The guy's outstanding. That's one of the things I wish I'd been able to do is hope the Beatles had got together and maybe saw them, but I have seen Paul McCartney twice. So I saw him when Linda was alive and I saw him in 2013. But it's like going to a Beatles show. Because the guy plays, I mean, he doesn't have an opening act. He plays for 4 hours straight. And he probably played 30 Beatles songs. And that was heaven for me, man. I just sit there and enjoyed every bit of it. That's what I grew up on, though, because I had my older brother listen to that stuff. So when he went in the military, he left all his records at the house. So let me see what you got here to play. And my dad, he didn't like that. He didn't like that stuff. No,
He liked Charlie Pride.
Oh yeah, my dad was a 3-war veteran. He was in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, and he believed in short hair, discipline, the whole 9 yards. And I love my dad to death, and he taught me a lot. And as I get older, I realize he knows a lot more than I ever thought he did. But he was funny about his music. He was really funny about his music. Now he liked that country stuff. But as I get older, there's some country stuff I like too. But we call it Southern rock nowadays. So
Guilty. So
Well, the country's more rock and roll than the rock and roll is anymore too.
yeah.
I would say
Yeah,
Leonard Skinner is more Southern rock than country, boys. So yeah.
Yeah. Some of those country guys are hitting it pretty heavy now. You know what song really blew my mind growing up was Rare Earth, I'm a Losing You. And I remember listening to that on the AM radio. I know it goes in that echo because I'm losing you. It's like that blew my mind. That's the first I'd ever heard it, and I loved it. That was heavy for back then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rare Earth was good. They were real good. Then you got Chicago. They were the Chicago Transit Authority. I'm a Man.
Yeah.
Or Terry Kath. Terry Kath is one of the greatest guitar players to ever live. So, you know, as growing up, I look at different musicians. I didn't appreciate this, that, or other. But as I get older, I start to look back. Man, these guys were fantastic. You know, guitar players like Roy Clark. You got Jerry Reed, Glenn Campbell. You had rock guitarists taking lessons from Glenn Campbell. And then you look at some of these drummers, and I'm thinking, well, they ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing. But when you start looking and seeing what they're doing, it's just fantastic. How technical they got to be to do stuff like that. That's where your rudiments and all that other stuff comes in. And I was fortunate enough to learn some of that, but you know, I didn't start out a drummer. I started out as a trumpet player. A guy that we got another project with, his name's Robbie Reed. He's been in blues bands around here forever. But Robbie's been playing with Darrell and I since July. And we got a separate project that we do. It's called the Dirt Project. Darrell, Robbie, Tom. We put a little I in there between the D and the R. But where was I going with this?
Talking about Robbie doing some bluesy stuff.
Yeah. So
he's wanting you to do all that odd beats.
Yeah, stuff. Robbie, he's very serious about his blues stuff, and he'll say, well, let's try this song. And he'll say, this is the beat. And I'll play it. He said, no, that's not it. Listen to this. I mean, Robbie can pinpoint a blues player, a blues drummer, and say, this is the way you want to do it. And it expands your knowledge because well, I know where I was going with it. But anyway, it expands your knowledge, and you can use tools like that actually in your metal drumming or your rock drumming or anything like that. But I started out playing trumpet. Robbie dimed me out to the teacher because they needed a drummer for the jazz band. And Robbie says, well, Tom can play drums. Me and Robbie had just started playing rock and roll together. Just got my first real drum set, and we were playing Beatles music on my back patio. And he says, well, Tom can play drums. And I'm like, man, you know what your kind of position you're putting me in? I'm just learning how to play the stupid things. Now I'm going to have to go learn how to play jazz band stuff. So it taught me how to sight read and different things like that. But all my sight reading skills are gone now. So I ended up doing jazz band, switched over from trumpet to drums. And I played for many, many, many years. And then when my son came along, that's when I quit playing. And you know my story about 27 years that I didn't pick up a drumstick.
So what was your first drum set?
First drum set was a Royce.
Never heard of it.
Made by Pearl.
Okay.
It was a Royce. It was a Pearl wrap. It was a 20-inch bass drum, a 12-inch mounted tom, 16-inch floor tom, then a 5.5 by 14 snare drum. And it was solid wood. I mean, it was.
And you wish you still had it, right?
Yeah, sold it for $200. But I added to it over the years. I had 2 bass drums, 6 mounts, and this is when concert toms were big. I would buy the concert tom. So I started out. I added a 13-inch tom. I pulled the bottom heads off because everybody was playing with concert toms. So, you know what? Daggone it, I'm gonna pull the bottom heads off of mine. I bought an 8 and a 10-inch. Then later on I bought a 14 and a 16-inch mount, and then I bought another bass drum. I bought a 22-inch bass drum. And I started paying double bass for a little while, but it just didn't take. I mean, I could do some, but the stuff like you do, no way. There's no way I could do it. I mean, I just can't. Well, at my age too, but it just never took. And it's you got to have such limb independence to do stuff like that. And that's why I admire your stuff, because I mean, you sit there with that double bass, man. You're right on it. And that's tough. That stuff's tough. I know there's technique to it, swiveling your feet and the different things like that. But there's some of these guys, what they do with their feet is faster than anybody can do with their hands. It's crazy. But I'm a single bass drum player, always have been. I try to be pocket, stay in the pocket. That's my main mission, and keep the time. So, but that's it, man.
You ever listen to songs just for a drum roll?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Remember Indian Reservation?
Yes.
I think that was one of the first
Mhm.
concert toms they used recording, wasn't it?
Mhm.
That big long roll.
Like
I'd listen to that song just to hear that roll.
now, Lakeside Park by Rush is not a great song, but I love the beginning. I mean, right there, that's hey, I'm in. Yeah, I watched Super Bowl a few years ago, and Bruno Mars started out with a drum solo. I'm like, hey, I'm watching this. He's starting out doing a drum solo. I'm gonna watch him. I'm gonna give him his props. He did. He did pretty good too. I thought he's a pretty good drummer. Now, have I cared for the shows ever since? No.
Come on now.
I know he's with me. No. They're playing in San Francisco this year. Who should be the band for the Super Bowl? Metallica.
I would say Metallica.
Be the logical choice, you know. So
I remember one Super Bowl halftime. I don't remember who it was, but I felt like I'd just been to a strip bar.
oh yeah. That's when the Panthers they played that's when they played the Patriots, and that's when Janet Jackson and what's that Yahoo's name?
Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake. Yeah, they're doing that and the song said, "I'm gonna have you naked" by the end of this song. And my son's a little fella. It was 2003, so he'd been like 12 or 13 or something like that. And we're sitting here watching the Super Bowl, and I had to work that night. So I was hoping the Super Bowl would get over with before I had to go to work. So next thing I know, he reaches over and pulls that top, and I said, "I know I didn't see what I just thought I saw." And I looked, and my son was looking down. Oh, thank God! I put my hand over that. Dude, don't look. Whatever you do, don't look.
What
Yeah.
happened to the delay system?
Yeah,
That's when they started it.
that's when
Wow.
they started the blur system. There wasn't a blur system there. It was like they quickly get the camera off of Jan. That's when they stopped letting the MTV do the shows anymore. That was it.
Actually, it was Justin Timberlake. That's what it was.
Yeah, wardrobe malfunction. No, I don't think it was a wardrobe malfunction. I think that
Actually,
was planned.
Too much force. I think it was too much force.
I think so.
Something happened there. So
So have you been busy since the holidays are over?
very much. I do my full-time job Monday through Friday. I do a secondary part-time job at a local restaurant, which actually started during COVID. So we're now going on 6 years here pretty soon. So
Oh.
On
And then
top
you're
of
doing
YouTube.
this too.
yep.
Yeah.
So basically 3 jobs.
guy. Busy
Yeah.
guy, man.
I mean, you out of trouble.
It keeps me
Well, he's
occupied.
got
So,
a drum set to keep him out of trouble. And you know what the best thing about that drum set is? It's not that loud if you don't want it to be. That's what I loved about my E-drums. I'll be at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'll be in there playing the drums, and all you hear was just tap, 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 tap.
Except in headphones.
Yeah, headphones are awesome. But I played the other night, you know. We've discovered the AI thing on on Facebook where you can make AI images out of your pictures and all that stuff. And I've said,
It's a competition now, ain't
It's
it?
like a toy, brand new toy. And I'm sitting here, man, I got to quit playing with this thing. So I got to go practice. So, because I knew we had rehearsal coming today. So I told my wife, I'm going to play for a little bit. And I went in the room at 8 o'clock and I come out at 10:30. And I was in there singing, and she said, "Can't you just be quiet?" So I'd already subjected her to 2.5 hours of drums. So she told me she's got a 13-year-old again, because my son's 36. He lives about 200 yards from me. But she said, "I got him out of the house, then you retire, now I got a 13-year-old again." So I keep her on her toes.
it'd be like, hey, it's good for the health. That's what we like to say.
Yeah.
Cardio.
Yeah. Good for the cardio.
I guess speaking of which, did you get any new gear since we last chatted? I guess also with Darrell, what do you have?
anything new, I picked me up an orange dual terror head I like for guitar rhythm. That's about it.
Well, the TC.
What's the TC?
The Helicon.
Oh yeah, we picked us up a couple of harmonizer pedals for vocals. Try to help us out a little bit.
So I like to barter. So I did barter and get a 18-inch K Sweet Crash, and I talked the guy down to $260 on that. Then I ended up I bought the harmonizer as well. And what else have I gotten? I haven't got anything else new. I did get some in-ears, and I probably shouldn't say this, but Amazon sent me the wrong ones, but actually sent me a better set than what I ordered. So I'm getting used to using those. That's and eventually, depending on how much we end up playing out, that might be a good thing to play around with, because I know a lot of venues are going, they don't want what they call them, wireless or whatever. Everybody's wireless and running through a
iPad.
Yeah, running through an iPad and different things like that. So, but I like the in-ears, but I like it loud too. We don't use headphones or in-ears. I want a bass speaker pointed at me, and I want a guitar speaker pointed at me, because I like it loud.
Yeah, I still play out of the old acoustic amps, acoustic 370s. I don't know if you remember those with the 18-inch folded horn speaker. Everybody used to play through them in the 70s, and I still like that. So
we played, myself, Darrell, and Robbie, we played a Shriners Christmas party back in December. Yes. Cinder block building. They used to have carpet, and they took the carpet up, so you had a heck of a time trying to get the sound right. You almost have to turn the PA system off. But I mean, we could almost say
that was the Blues Project.
Yeah, I'm almost saying with the equipment we got, we could definitely make some noise. But we had to cut down to the bare minimum with
and that's no fun.
Nah, it's no fun. But we got the monitors pointing back, the old school stuff. You got the monitors pointing back so you can hear what you're doing along with everything that's going out to the crowd. And then that all falls on Butch, because he's got to be the man.
It's like the Acme situation. Something just falls on Coyote, and it's meant to be helpful stuff. So, actually, I do have to ask, because Tom, I know you mentioned about AI earlier, and I bring this question up a little bit here too, because you hear about AI kind of doing a little bit of a takeover at this point. So what do you guys make of AI and social media these days?
Well, Butch, the sound guy, he was telling us him and his wife heard a song come on not the radio. What do y'all listen to? Streaming music of some kind?
Yeah.
He said it was one of the most killer heavy songs he had ever heard. Come to find out, it was all AI generated. And I can't go for that. But he said it sounded awesome.
I didn't know.
You can go to your AI program and you can say, write me a country song. It will write you write a country song about this. And it'll write you a country song. I mean, and certain programs will put music to it. Somebody I know admitted the other day that some of the stuff he writes, he uses AI. He'll put chords in. Yeah, I'm not going to mention no names. And we're thinking, man, these songs are great, but he's cheating a little bit. So
it'll probably take off for a while, but I think eventually people want to come back and hear real stuff, real people playing real instruments.
Now, I actually saw an advertisement.
After a while.
I've actually heard an advertisement where a AI band, they put music out as AI. They're trying to hire live musicians to go out and play their stuff to tour. So evidently the albums took off pretty well, but they're trying to find live musicians to go out and play the stuff. But you got a lot of musicians nowadays, when they go out, they're lip syncing everything. I mean, certain things you're going to use backing tracks. I mean, that's a given. People have been doing it for years. I don't hold nothing against anybody that uses backing tracks, but if you're just up there doing a Milli Vanilli thing, why would I pay to go see somebody to do that? I can watch that on YouTube. So it's pros and cons on YouTube. I mean, AI. I mean, it's a good thing in some ways, and it's like it's a double-edged sword. And, the internet. When the internet first came out, the internet's got some great stuff to it, but it's got a dark side to it too. And I think the same thing with AI. I think the AI's got a good thing. It's got a good side to it, but it's also got a dark side to it. And unfortunately, too many young people will get drawn into the dark side of it before you're going to start believing things that aren't true that AI is putting out. I mean, there's a couple video of that with that AI thing, and anybody that messes with it, you can pick out the stuff that is artificial. Because I put a picture that a band that I was in played a long time ago. We played at Pope Air Force Base, and I made the picture live. But when the guitar player walks around, you can see him switch. The guitar player goes from right-handed to left-handed. That's pretty awesome how he switched hands like that. So there's things you can pick out, but it's getting so realistic. It's just going to keep everybody in confusion.
Yeah, for years now, all the new music I hear, it pretty much bores me because everything is so perfect timing to the grid. Vocals are perfect and big. It's not real. It just bores me. I mean, I know it's real people playing, but to me, rock and roll, it's got to have a little bit of imperfect. It can't be perfect to be good rock and roll to me. It's got to be a little bit. You just lose the true meaning of rebellion and rock and roll if everything's so polished and perfect. That's just, to me, it ain't.
Now, one thing that we do use a click track.
Sometimes,
not
on everything.
But that was hard to get used to because I'm used to listening to guitar players. I'm used to listening to bass players, and I go mainly by feel. But sometimes you can get off time, and you can. It's noticeable. You can hear when it slows down or it speeds up too much. So a click, that's tough learning to play to. If you've never played to a click before, it's kind of tough learning to play to.
And we've been recording without a full band. So, we have to just do like drums and a rhythm guitar because it's just two of us. And then we can add stuff on top of it. But now that we've got the full band, we'll go back probably without the
old way like we used to.
Do it all at the same time, all the backing vocal, all the backing tracks, drum, bass, guitar, and then we'll go back and redo the vocals and put the lead on top of it.
Yeah, that's the way, with the last band, we did it like the old days. See the whole band in the studio, and they're doing their thing, and that's the way we did it before.
And if somebody makes a little mistake, but it's got that groove and that feel, then we're keeping it.
Yeah.
I don't care if you hear me hit one little perfect something that's not perfect. It's got you just got to get that magic take.
I guess would you say there's some sort of challenges with what you guys are doing, since you seem to be doing it the old way? Or I guess what challenges do you feel like you face these days being part of this group and all?
Our biggest challenge is, finding another guitar player to add right now. You talking about recording part, and we around here it's hard to find a really good in-your-face rock and roll guitar player. I guess people growing up just don't have the rock heroes like we had growing up, and we're not looking for the clean guitar players. We just want somebody with some gut. Malcolm Young, that's my favorite rhythm guitar player, and that's what we're trying to find, somebody more in that style. And that'll finish it up once we can just find somebody like that.
Yeah, a guy we've been playing with for a couple months, John Jarrett. No relation to Jeff Jarrett, the wrestler, or
killer lead guitar player and guitar player.
Was it Dale Jarrett, the NASCAR guy? But John's retired military, and he's here with helping his daughter. Him and his wife are here helping their daughter. But we just come upon him by chance because somebody that Darrell knows that sold him an amp, and we just contacted him, and he came out and he started playing with us. He's a pretty hot guitar player.
But we like that 2-guitar attack.
But yeah, you got it's good to have rhythm, especially rhythms, rhythms that are playing different parts. You got guitar 1 and guitar 2, just like when I played in high school band playing trumpet. You got a first trumpet, a second trumpet, a third trumpet. So you're playing the same song, but you got different parts going on. It's good to have 2 guitars doing that. And then you can harmonize on leads.
I've even considered maybe we should find a bass player and I'll play rhythm guitar because I can play it how I want my songs to be.
No, you're playing bass.
Yeah, then we'd lose that groove.
No, you ain't playing. You're not switching. You do the guitar like we're doing right now. But
that's our biggest challenge right now, just finding a guitar player to add to our lineup.
So you know anybody?
There's plenty. I don't know how many sites you technically visit, like a band mix or something like that, but I'm sure you can find somebody. Otherwise, might just want to go digital and just put up help wanted and just have them send the tracks that way. If you guys are thinking of that.
Anybody's willing to commute from Pennsylvania to come down here?
Need some work. So
and finding time to do it. We're still busy. I still work. Well, my work is seasonal. I'll be so busy for 2 or 3 months, and then I get 2 or 3 months off. And it just kind of goes like that.
And my Palm Pilot's usually pretty clear. Schedule's pretty open. Yeah, pretty open. So
if it's not giving it love to the wife or anything like that.
Yeah, just whatever the wife tells me I got to do. That's my schedule. So I stay busy. I love being retired. I really do, and it frees me up to do some more things that I really like to do. And it's not on the schedule. Okay, we can't play this weekend because I got to work this weekend, or a lot of times we'll practice during the week. Sometimes just me and Darrell during the week, and now John's back. We'll find time for us to all get together during an afternoon. But
we took the month off for the holidays. Do family.
But
we're back on today, weren't we?
Mm-hmm. So we had a good rehearsal today. We really did. The guy that came over and sang with us, and after we got the mix right, it was clicking. So we're looking forward to putting out some new music for everybody to hear, and it's coming.
Preachy Crawlerz
with the
Z.
The Z. Don't forget, you got the Z. Yes, sir. That's
like
it.
Zorro.
That's right. We gotta get the track where you and I can share the drums on it.
That's for sure.
I'll let you do all the heavy double bass stuff.
Hey, did you guys ever hear Max Warrior? There's a song that him and Neil Peart, I think, play together. And you can definitely tell when you hear Neil Peart come in on it, it's him. You ever heard of Max Warrior out of Canada?
It sounds familiar, but I would say if it is Neil Peart, normally I can tell by his splashing. As I like to call it.
As soon as he starts playing on the song, that's him. He has his sound. I couldn't tell you the name of the album, but it was like 81, 82 it came out.
I have to check it out. I have to see it. Okay. This question actually I would like just strictly for Darrell, because Tom, you already answered this when I interviewed you a while back, but it does talk a little bit about COVID. So I guess, Darrell, how bad was COVID for you on a personal level, family-wise? And I don't know what you were doing music-wise until you found old Tom here.
Well, let me tell you, we live out here by a company called Chemours, and they have poisoned our well. And they make the stuff that's for like Teflon that nothing sticks to. And I think I've drank so much of their poison water that the COVID bounced right off of me. I did get it once. I got COVID once, never got the shots or none of the vaccines. And it's like everybody around me was sick and going through, they were lost a lot of people actually, but it's like, I don't know why I'm so blessed, but it's like, it didn't affect me hardly at all. I don't even get the flu shots. I didn't get the COVID shots. I've got it, the COVID one time, and my blood immunity's built up so well that I didn't need to get it after that. But anyway, that thing with the Crawlerz, that's fake. But I mean, our water is poison. That's not what kept me from getting it. But I don't know if I had to throw it in. Crawlerz it's pretty bad. Our water out here, it's terrible.
What about I think he's wanting to know business wise.
What do you mean business?
As far as your business and playing.
Oh yeah,
and
shut my business down because I do so much photography and like, what was it? We did a ballet, a dance studio ballet recital. And it was like we had to take 3 hours off in between shows for them to come and wipe down all the chairs and everything. But anyway, that was a little bit afterwards. But it completely shut down my photography. So we do so much event photography stuff. So it was rough for a while. But we got through it.
That's good to hear.
Anything else you need to know about it?
I guess the music's really part of the business too. I guess you didn't really do any shows or anything else with, I guess, anyone else?
Yeah. That's back when I had to shut my business down, but the church I went to, they stayed open, and I played on the praise team and took a little part-time job doing their video and audio out there. So that kept me kind of going financially. And I don't know. We just got through it.
So getting back to playing the rock stuff, that's within the last couple of years is when we started doing this again. Because at first, Darrell was hesitant about getting back into playing in a band, and then slowly all the pieces started falling together. Now we're both hungry again. So so we're hey, if we don't do nothing but have fun, that's all that matters. You know, I love playing in front of crowds. I really do. But if it's a one-time a month thing, I'm fine with it. We're getting too old to be going to do them 3 or 4 days a week, 3 or 4 hour shows. So, you know, it's our playing out's a little bit more selective compared to years past. But, you know, because like I said, I didn't pick up a drumstick for 27 years, and prior to that, before I started working at Goodyear, that's what I ate and breathed. That's what I wanted to do, was just play music. When my buddy went to California, that was my plan. I'm gonna work 2 years at Kelly Springfield. I'm gonna work 2 years there, and then I'm going out to California. Well, 2 years plus 39, and I'm still staying in North Carolina. So there you go. 41.
Nobody wants to leave home. So yeah.
63. I don't think I'm going nowhere. So
let's see. I didn't know you quit playing music for 27 years.
Sure did. Didn't pick up a drumstick.
Man's got to do something to pay the bills.
Then I started back on electronic drums. Wife and I were in Marshall's, and there's a Guitar Center right next door to it. So I said, while you're looking around in this store, I'm going to go to Guitar Center. So I was over there just wandering around. They had electronic set up. And they had it where you could put the headphones on and it could play. And I started playing with that thing. I told my wife, I said, I'd like to have one of those. Because I'd already sold my acoustic drums years before. And I thought about I want to play again. I'd air drum like crazy in the car. And then she ended up buying me one for Christmas. It was an Alesis DM6, and didn't have a whole lot of bells and whistles to it. But first time I sat behind it, my brain knew what to do, but my hands and feet, man, they had checked out. It was all bringing all that muscle memory back and everything. So that's where it started.
Another thing I did during COVID is me and my wife did some door dashing, and it was slamming then because everything shut down. The only way you could get food was to order it out. And so me and my wife, we zipped around door dashing. Did pretty well at it.
Pizza delivery. So
yeah.
There could be an OnlyFans page next before you know it.
I don't know. I don't want to be owing people money.
That whole deal.
sent those checks out. What were those called?
Stimulus
The
checks.
stimulus checks. When
Yeah.
those came out, man, we were going in places nobody wants to go. But those people had the money and they were ordering the food, and we were in some bad
Yep.
side of town.
There you
delivering food.
There you go.
Oh, you dirty dogs, you. So, all right.
Hey, you got to make.
And it was weird because there at first there was nobody out. Remember those 2 weeks they shut everything down? Unless you were essential, or we were essential drivers delivering food, and it was very eerie hitting the road and there was nobody driving.
Yeah,
Always,
I can remember that. Yeah,
Hopefully, we'll
But-
get another one of them in our lifetime.
hopefully not. We'll have to see. "Quote unquote" made in China. There we go.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
China, absolutely.
I think
Yeah.
test run. I hate to say that, but that's what I think. Just to see how people react.
Yep. Glad to see what happens. But on a serious note, and Darrell, good to see you. You and the family have been safe there too. Same to you, Tom.
Yeah.
So good to have you guys along here for the ride.
It's been fun, man. It's been fun.
That's for sure. But since we braced through questions here pretty good, actually, I forgot to do this last time for Tom. So I do a nice little fun section. So I'm just going to ask you guys a little extra questions here. A little fun about drinking and that sort of stuff. So you all ready?
Ready?
Sure.
All right. So I guess what would you guys consider your favorite alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks?
But the only thing I drink is water and coffee. Once in a while I have a Corona Light.
Coke Zero is my favorite. I got a problem with alcohol. Me and alcohol don't get along too well. One drink is too many, and a million's not enough. So, I stopped doing that years ago because if I'd have kept on, I wouldn't be married today. So I drink Coke Zero. Do drink a lot of water, but other than that, that's pretty much. I have a cup of coffee every once in a while. Just and I like my monsters now. Don't get me wrong. I still like to have me a monster. And Celsius. I got where I started liking Celsius. Celsius is pretty good stuff. So I had a couple of energy drinks, but Coke Zero, that's my go-to.
So you didn't have a drink and you had a problem with your wife.
No.
Just kidding.
I would have had a major problem with my wife if I continued to. 'Cause I got some stories, but that's for another time.
That's a takeoff of Keith Richards. He didn't have problems with heroin. He had a problem with the police.
Yeah. So I got some stories that we'll have to share for another time. Wait for another time to share. So.
All right, next
All right.
question.
All right. I guess you guys got a favorite food you consider your favorite of all time?
Street tacos. Carne asada. And a hamburger steak with sauteed onions and jalapenos fried up with it. I'd almost rather have that than a big fine steak.
Well, I like a big filet mignon, medium rare. That's my favorite. Steak is my favorite.
With the mashed potatoes and the carrots and that sort of stuff.
I'm a red meat guy. Love my red meat. So
Sometimes my wife will say, "What do you want for dinner tonight?" And I'll say, "Can we just have some like Campbell's tomato soup and grilled cheese?" And she does again.
that's the old standard.
Well, can't have tacos. I gotta have something else. I like simple food.
It's either one or the other. You can't have both. So,
Yeah. That's it.
all right.
know, we went-
Well, good choices.
Cruise one time, and it was like all that fancy snails, and I couldn't eat all that stuff.
Hey, Brian,
It's
have you ever had escargot?
I want to say I was at Paris, but I don't think we had escargot. I don't think we went that far.
I've had it once. It actually wasn't bad. A little chewy. Kind of like chitlins. You know, we got chitlins down here in the South. I call it chewy barbecue. A lot of people say, "Ooh, that's hog innards." It's chewy barbecue. Put a little hot sauce on it. Never know the difference.
Tabasco.
A little Tabasco or Texas Pete. Yeah, it's all food.
Texas P. I don't think I want to know. So let's just leave it at that. So,
All right,
all right.
I got it.
All right. For the next one, I guess you guys got a favorite movie or TV show?
I guess one of my favorite movies, I guess, pretty much is Jaws. I could watch that over and over. What else comes to mind? Nothing's coming to mind right away. And TV show.
You're probably Twilight Zone guy.
I've probably seen every Twilight Zone, yeah. Just discovered the Avengers here lately. I used to watch that like a teenager, and it's like I couldn't find it anywhere. I've been looking and looking, and I finally saw somebody post on Facebook you can watch it on Amazon Prime, and I said, all right. So I've been watching that here lately. And Columbo, love Columbo shows.
See, we grew up with all those mystery shows like Columbo McCloud. You had The Night Stalker.
Yeah.
Love American Style. You had all those shows when we were growing up. But they usually came on late. Love American Style was on late. Now movies, man, I could watch Rocky over and over and over again. Love that movie. Ever since I saw it in the theater when it first came out. I mean, my wife says, well, how can you watch that movie over and over again? I said, because I like it. It's a good story.
I just found out lately that Sylvester Stallone, he wrote all that.
Yeah.
And would not sell it. He had to star in it himself and do it all.
He based it on, what was the name? Chuck. They called him the Bayonne Bleeder.
The Russian guy?
No, he was a Massachusetts boxer. He actually knocked Muhammad Ali down. And that's where he got the story from. And that's how he wrote the movie, because this guy got in with Muhammad Ali and actually knocked him down. And Ali beat the brakes off of him. But for that one moment, he knocked the champ down. So that was his claim to fame. Chuck Wepner. And that's what he got the story from.
Okay.
So that's how he based the story. You know, he's in, it opens up, he's in a out of the way place, getting the brakes beat off of him until the guy makes him mad, and then he walks out smoking a cigarette and all this, and he's a bum, and all of a sudden he gets a 1 in a million shot to fight the champ. So that, I mean, the story's just good to me. I mean, I like that. I like The Godfather. That's one of my favorites too. TV shows, whatever the wife watches on Bravo. No. You know, I like Game of Thrones. I like House of the Dragon. They got a new season coming up in June. Like those on, I love The Sopranos on HBO. As far as network TV, I used to watch like Friends and all those shows. But right now, it's whatever the wife wants to watch. So
Creature from the Black Lagoon, that was always one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, that's a good movie.
A lot of those old black and white horror films. I love what was it? Oh gosh, I can't think of the name of the movie right off. Oh well, I'll think of it in a minute.
We got old timers disease, man.
It comes with the age. So yeah. All right.
Yep. See, I'm the baby of the group. I'm 63.
Say, Jesus,
That's
you
the way it
all are
was
old.
last group too. Butch was the oldest, and I was the youngest. I think John's younger than I am. Yeah, John's a little bit younger than I am. So now I'm the middle child.
I guess so. All right, but all great choices. And for the last of the fun questions, I guess what have you been listening to recently in terms of music, whether they're mainstream or indie bands?
Like I said, there's not a whole lot of new stuff I like because it's just too perfect. But I love let's see here. I don't know. Nothing even comes to mind. Blackberry Smoke, I still like them a lot. I still listen to a lot of the Georgia Satellites. I like, and Dan Baird, who was in the Georgia Satellites. He's got some solo stuff. I like a lot of his stuff because it's real. That's for one thing. And I just work on our stuff so much I don't listen to a whole lot.
I got genuine musical ADD because if you look at my channel, I'll go from one extreme to the other. Lately, I've been listening to a band called Wings of Steel. They do like a Queensryche type style music. They're outstanding. When I first heard them, I'm like, dude, this is Queensryche, but it's not. They're a newer band. And then I'll go from that, and I'll go from that to the Temptations. Then I'll go from that to I've been listening to a lot of this Butch's Fault, Government Mule here lately. Love Government Mule. I really do. You just can't beat. You can't beat what Warren Haynes does. And the drummer, Matt Apps, ABTS, is a complete beast. I mean, he does some phenomenal stuff on those drums, man. Then I'll go back and listen to Rush, and I mean, you can just look at my I got Apple Unlimited now, but the stuff that I recently downloaded, and I downloaded some old Soundgarden recently. Rush 2112, I just loaded that one again. That was I wore that album completely out. It just depends on my mood. I might catch something on the radio. I listen to a lot of Sirius. And I'll catch something.
The Hellhounds?
Which was the ones that do It Ain't Easy Being Cool.
Oh man, that's a neat song.
I love that song. But I'll hear stuff like that. Okay, I'm going down a rabbit hole. He turned me on to Southern Culture on the Skids.
Yeah, I like them.
Love that band. And then you got Terry Anderson and the Olympic Ass Kicking Crew. He used to play with the band called the Fabulous Knobs. That was
out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
That's one of his favorites. And he's got his own band, Terry Anderson, the Olympic Ass Kicking Crew.
Team.
Man, I'm telling you, it's fantastic. It's good stuff. And I'll just go down rabbit holes. I'll listen to prog stuff, then I'll listen to this. I'll hear a Kansas tune. Okay, I'm going to go down a Kansas rabbit hole. It's just, they say ADD is real. It's real. I mean, because I got it musically because, I played the other night. Guy asked me 6 months ago if I'd cover Aqualung. And I went on and my mind went 40 different directions after that. And finally I came back around to it. I said, I think I'm going to go ahead and cover that song. It's fun to play. And so it gives me an excuse to go sit in my room. That way I get away from the problem. My wife just sent me a text. Tom Counts, don't you wear your welcome out. Kathy. The text just popped up on the screen. All right.
It's like just perfect timing. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, she's telling me it's time to come home. I'm wearing my welcome out. But yeah, whatever strikes my mood is what I listen to.
Yeah, I've been listening a little bit of Alice Cooper, the newer stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I just listen to all the old stuff, and it's like I've been listening to some of the later stuff, and it's like, wow, that's pretty good.
So Nita Strauss plays guitar for Alice Cooper. She probably ain't going to play it now because she's going to be on maternity leave. But she is fantastic. I mean, that woman can play. Orianthe played with them for a while too. I actually saw them. This is supposed to be Motley Crue's farewell tour in 2013, but Orianthe opened. She was playing with Alice Cooper. They opened for Motley Crue and just completely destroyed them, blew them off the stage. I like Motley Crue, but
you got to admit, Alice Cooper would be a hard act to follow. I mean, who could do that?
The last time I saw him, it was him and Rob Zombie. I mean, you're talking about two phenomenal stage shows. I mean, but Alice Cooper, man, his stuff from the beginning up to recent days, there's not a whole lot of variation in it. It's just fantastic.
And his manager, Shep Gordon, for 50 years, they've never had a signed contract. That blows my mind. It's always been on a handshake.
So we like Woman.
Never had no problem.
Yeah,
with each
Woman
other.
of Mass Distraction. That's one that we're thinking about adding to our playlist. Woman of Mass Distraction. It's not. I mean, it's not racy, but it's. I mean, it's just good rock and roll stuff, man. It's I like Elected. You know, I want to be elected. So, yeah.
Who sings that? Alice Cooper?
Yeah.
Well, then let him sing it.
Yeah. He does that to his wife all the time, too. But yeah.
Actually, I thought it was the Ramones. I thought those Ramones would be like, I want to be sedated or something.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that song.
Yeah, the
I bought.
Ramones.
Well, I don't think I bought it. Maybe I did. That first album they came out with, the black and white. I can't. Just the Ramones, and I Want to Walk Around with You, and all that. Because I used to see it in Hit Parade, the new Ramones, the new big thing. When I bought that first album, I almost took it and just broke it in half. I couldn't stand it. But then I came around after a while. It was just so weird to hear like a 2-minute song.
Yeah. So, yeah, Brian, you can probably relate to this too. I never liked punk music. I don't know if you liked it or not, but I got nothing but respect for somebody who can sit there and play that fast. I mean, punk drummers are, they're just super fast. And Clyde Burr, the first drummer for Iron Maiden, actually started in punk music. He had a punk background. And some of the stuff he does, if you listen to Wrathchild, what he's doing all that with one hand. He's not, now I'm an old man. I'm going to do 16ths with two hands, but he's just tearing it to pieces with one hand. And that's just pure technique.
But I came around to the Ramones. It was just so different. I didn't understand it at first.
Yeah,
But
they
then
start
I
out,
kinda
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
beat the brat.
Yeah, then they're done. So that's but yeah, stuff like that, stuff that I hated when I was growing up. Now I look back and I say, you know what, these guys are good musicians. I don't like the style, but I got nothing but respect for the musicians for what they can do. You know, I don't like heavy metal now, but I got nothing but respect for the musicians, especially the drummers. I mean, they're phenomenal fast. I mean, stuff that you would have thought was impossible 30 years ago, these guys are doing, and it looked like no effort involved. They're just look like they're chilling doing it. So it's I got nothing but respect for that. But anyway, that's what I've been listening to, other than my ramble about going here, there, and everywhere. Wings of Steel is one of the newest ones that I've got into, and they got like a Queensryche sound. So they're actually pretty good too. They're a good band. I don't know if they're AI, but I know they're good.
We hope it's not AI. So, all right. But all great choices there nonetheless. All right. So, guys, we're almost out of time, but we have one more question left, and Tom's actually pretty familiar with it because it's not my question I like to close out with. But before we jump into it, would you like to ask me a question apiece real quick?
How old are you?
I just turned 34 not too long ago.
Oh man, you're young. Okay.
I'm getting there, so slowly but surely.
Oh, don't rush time.
That's
trying
why I
not to.
didn't know your first album, because you're a little bit too young for me, I guess.
So, Brian,
I mean, I was a 90s kid, so I mean, like that's when the music started coming out for me. So, but anyway, go ahead, Tom.
You're 2 years younger than my son. So, what do you want to do with your drumming in the future? That's my question. I know you put out YouTube videos, and you do a good job. Are you interested in taking that any further than just the YouTube thing or the studio thing, and branching out or doing anything else?
So as of now, I'm actually part of 3 studio bands. That's what I like to say. There's Demiurge, Nocturnal Monarch, and the third group is Shadows in the Dark. I do drums for all of those. Nocturnal Monarch and Demiurge I do vocals with. At times I actually thought about, could we do a couple shows if we wanted to? not exactly do like a whole tour or anything like that. I don't think I'd be interested in a full tour. Maybe just a couple shows. I don't know, because right now I like where I'm at, because I'm also doing session drumming work. Obviously, got one little inquiry that I'm going to be helping out now with some guy. I think he lives in Missouri or something like that. So at the moment,
virtual session work.
It's MIDI. It's basically says electric drum set. It's MIDI work.
Right. So that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff, and it's fun to go out and play in front of people. It is, every once in a while.
There's a zone you can get in, and you know it.
Mm-hmm.
And it don't happen all the time, but once you just get that feeling like you can't do no wrong, and it's just great when everybody clicks in at the same time. It's just nothing like it live.
Yeah, I thought I'd like to tour at one time when I was younger, and then I realized as I get older, I like sleeping in my own bed. I would miss my family, especially my dogs, but I'm playing. I would definitely miss my family. It's you got to be a special type of person to be able to do that on the scale that these people are doing it on, the big stars. And like I said, we're tickled to death to be making music. We go out and play every once in a while. It's just an added bonus, But I'd like to see you out playing live, my man. I really would. I definitely would. I think you would do excellent.
Maybe at some point. I got the job right now that gives me the health insurance. So I mean,
but I
make a good living. So I mean, that's the downside with being a musician. You don't get the health insurance. You have to pay your own insurance at that point. So anything else, or is it okay we jump into the last question?
Sure, let's do it.
All right. So Darrell here. This one's more for you, but Tom, you can pitch in your 2 cents afterwards. But so given the amount of negativity that you've been seeing going on in the world these days, I know what happened recently, what you saw in Minnesota, but also political polarization and other events happening in and around the world here too. I feel like these days people need some sort of hope. So what would be your message of hope for musicians and people out there so that they can move forward with their lives?
Well, if you don't know Jesus, you ain't never going to have the true hope, the hope that you need. I just kind of live my life as bad as things are. I just keep my circle that I treat people with respect. The people I meet, I can't go out and save the world. I just try to, what the circle I live in is what I want to just, I don't know how to say it. Just, if you don't watch all that news, if I didn't see what was going on the TV news and I just live my life day to day where I go to town and eat in restaurants and all, I would never think it was that bad, to tell you the truth. But you watch it on TV and it's just, that's what gets you upset. You got one news agency going against the other and they want us to hate each other. And I'm just not going to do that. I'll treat anybody with respect as I meet them. But if you don't have Jesus, you ain't going to have no hope. That's the way I see it.
Well, Brian, you're friends with me on Facebook, so you know I'm an open book. The world has lost its compass. It really has. It's accepting what's bad for good and good for bad. And I agree with Darrell. I think there's a faction that wants to keep us at each other's throats to distract us from what's really going on in the world. And I'm not wearing a tin hat. I mean, I'm just an old man. I've seen a few things in my lifetime, and so has Darrell, so has Butch. Butch actually served our country. He was in the Air Force. So, it's the world has lost its compass, and common sense is a plant that don't grow in everybody's garden. I mean, it's just amazing to me that people will believe anything and everything nowadays. And if you don't have something to keep you grounded, and your relationship with Christ is the most important thing you can have in your life, because everything else flows from that. Your relationship with your wife, your children, your family, your friends, all that stems from a relationship with Christ, and that's what keeps you from going crazy in a world that seems to just be spinning out of control. You're asking a preacher a loaded question, so it's I'm going to treat people how I want to be treated. I'm not going to stray away from the truth. I'm not going to fold because somebody's offended or hurt because of my stance on things. I've had people that backed away from me because of my stance on certain social issues and different things like that. But I'm not going to change, because if I compromise who I am, I have other people's blood on my hands. And I want people to see a reality of my relationship with Jesus. As Darrell's the same way, and so is Butch. But at the same time, I'm not going to be somebody that's going to be punching you in the face about it. But I'm going to treat you like I treat anybody else. I don't care what somebody believes. I don't care what they do. I'm not going to treat anybody any different because, okay, I'm labeling you this or I'm labeling you that. And unfortunately, that's what's happening on a large scale. You're a conservative, so I can't have anything to do with you because you're a conservative, or you're a liberal. I can't have nothing to do with you because you're a liberal, or you believe this or you believe that. I believe that you treat people the way you want to be treated. Now, that doesn't mean you enable evil in no way, shape, or form. And what happened in Minneapolis is an unfortunate circumstance. You're not going to stop a federal official from doing his duty. I don't care how much you chant and how much you protest and how much you do this. Nobody knows what went on in those people's minds except for the lady behind the wheel and that agent that pulled the trigger. If I got a car coming at me, what am I going to do? I mean, unless I've walked a mile in their shoes, I don't know. I really don't. And it's just a tense situation that had no business happening. The woman should have been with her children, not out egging on federal agents fulfilling their duty. And it wasn't a ICE raid on something. It was a fraud case that they were arresting somebody for. So you see little snippets of facts. You talked about the AI thing earlier. You see little snippets here. Okay, this is left leaning. This is right leaning. There's always three sides to every story. You got two sides, and then you got the truth somewhere in the middle. And you got to be able to filter stuff out. That's like, it's taking scripture out of context. You got these prosperity preachers that, if you sow $1,000 seed of faith, then you're going to be blessed 1,000-fold. And they'll pick scriptures out of the Bible to say, okay, this is what this says. This is what that says. But you're not looking at things in context. You're looking at things out of context, and you're cherry picking. And that's what the media does. They cherry pick to keep us at each other's throats. And somebody has to be the voice of reason. Now, our president is not the most graceful of speakers. He isn't. I mean, that's just a fact. He is not a politician. He is not a politician. He's a businessman. And he could care less if somebody's feelings get hurt. So, I mean, that's on him. But I support our president no matter who it is. I'm going to support our president because the Bible tells me to pray for those who are in authority, to render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's. And that's, we have laws in this country. I don't even want to get into all this because this could be a 2-hour conversation you and I could have back and forth.
Just keep it simple. My saying is, decent people can get along with decent people. Just be decent to people. Treat them with some respect.
I got a brother. My oldest brother is as far away from my ideals politically and morally as I can be. He's an old hippie. he is. That's the truth. He graduated high school in 1965. He went in the Air Force. He flew missions in Vietnam. But he got dropped on his head. I mean, I'm just telling you, but I love my brother to death. And no matter how much we disagree on things, I'm still going to love them regardless. And that's, more people need to take that lesson. You don't alienate family because you disagree politically, or you disagree about your faith, or you disagree about this or that. You don't, because if you push people away, I mean, it's, how am I emulating God by pushing people away? Now, I'm not going to stray away from the truth, but part of loving somebody is telling them the truth. And my truth comes from my relationship with Jesus. It comes from the Bible. And that's a personal thing. So I'm just going to leave it right there. Yes, you treat people how you want to be treated. You don't alienate people because they think differently than you, or because their skin color is different than you, or something of that nature. So that's, I'm going preaching here in a minute, but that's the way, people need to come back to a place where we can, we're a country where we all enjoy the freedoms that were purchased by the blood of others. That's a fact. That's a fact. This isn't stolen land. This is conquered land, because the land that we live on, we conquered. And the ones that lived here before us were conquering each other's territories in this land. So we have a nation. We have a nation of, and I don't like to use the word melting pot, but we're a melting pot of everybody. So we're all American. At the end of the day, we're all American. And that's the way we should be. We should be proud that we are American, because we live in the greatest country on the face of the earth. And nobody will ever convince me different, because there's freedoms we enjoy here that are things that will get you killed in other countries. So that's where I stand on that.
Spoke like a true prodigy, as I told you before. Same with you, Darrell. Spoke like a true prodigy.
All right. Thanks.
No worries. But boys, we almost talked for 2 hours right here. So I guess just real quick, you got any shout outs you want to give to anybody?
Everybody in the drummer's den, everybody in the drum tuber. You got Matthew, my man Rich Raw Dog. You, Trey Bledsoe, he's out doing his thing with Guns N' Roses tribute band. He's that man's staying busy. He really is. I got Jay out in Colorado. He's pretty much put drums away. He's doing travel videos now. Journeys by Jay. Oh man, the list could go on. Matthew, from Drummers to Watch on YouTube. Man, you're putting me in a head. Earl Bennett. Who else?
Can't forget Mr. JJ Drums.
Oh yeah, Mr. JJ Drums. Hey, 11. Have you watched any of his videos? Toby,
Who?
11 Drums.
Oh, 11. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, that kid is phenomenal, man. I just saw one the other day. Guy, one arm playing Tom Sawyer with his left hand. I mean, and playing it well. And you got Jeff Elwood, the wheelchair drummer. Jeff's band Life has been playing quite a bit. So I mean, there are just so many. It's just the ones I can think of off the top of my head. So all shout outs to my drummer brothers on YouTube, and all my peeps on Facebook, and everybody who has took the time to give us a listen. And it's okay, Darrell.
How
your
do you
turn.
do all that talking? Wow.
All right, so that's it. I'm gonna let Darrell have the mic now.
My shout out, just thanks for in thinking of us, Brian, and maybe to the people who will check out the Creepy Crawlerz. Then I'm good.
See, Tom, that's how you actually tell a story right there. So,
But I gotta learn to shorten my sentences.
I guess
Sure.
so.
I'm not a big talker.
I gotta do shorthand.
I like to listen.
Yeah. But I guess, Darrell, what social media and streaming platforms are you guys on so you can check out your music and interact?
Tom could probably tell you all the streaming. I think all of them, as far as I know.
Spotify and Apple are the two main ones. Well,
Okay.
iTunes, Spotify, and iTunes.
And then Facebook, the Creepy Crawlerz, but it will be changing soon to the Creepy Crawlerz with the Z. We haven't done that change yet.
So we got
And that's Facebook.
we got a public Facebook page. Anybody can join.
Yeah, there you go.
So we
Check out the video.
haven't
our
done
first.
anything with Instagram or TikTok, but we do have the video on YouTube. It's listed as Creepy Crawlerz, actually under Darrell's YouTube channel. So we're in the future we're going to create a Creepy Crawlerz YouTube channel just exclusively for our stuff. But right now it's on. If you have Apple Music, it's on Apple Music. You can press your Siri and say, Siri, play "I Shot an Alien" by the Creepy Crawlerz. It'll come up, and it's on Spotify, Apple Music, and all the streaming platforms. So,
All right. Sounds good.
have a listen. We have
Right.
time.
Yeah, we got more to come out.
Yeah, a lot more coming.
All right. Sounds good.
You know, Kelly Kusamoto, he lives up near you. KM Can Drum.
Yeah.
he's,
Kelly Kusamoto.
Yeah, they got what's the name of his band? They've got a couple released out on YouTube, Apple as well. Sun Among Ruins is the name of his Sun Among Ruins is the name of his band. So they've released a couple things on iTunes and Spotify as well. So he's moving forward with his stuff. He did that a long time ago back out in Los Angeles. So I think his uncle was a famous drummer. I can't remember his name can't remember off the top of my head, but he's a great guy. He lives up in your area, in Pennsylvania.
I would say I interviewed him a while back too, so don't you worry about that. So yeah. I also got Matt. I got a whole lot of our drummers in our community. So yeah, you get a chance to check them all out too, even though they're like 2 to 3 years old. All right. But to close it out like this, everyone, my guests today were Darrell and my good friend Tom Counts, coming back in for a second interview. But they're part of the band, the Creepy Crawlerz. And when recently it had the S at the end, so they're going to change it to Creepy Crawlerz with a Z at the end. So go make sure to hit them up on socials, all streaming platforms, and the whole hoopla and all that stuff right there. Let's go support our brothers. Also go check out the music video and the song "I Shot an Alien," and keep your eyes open on the socials for any new material they got coming out here too. So, boys, thank you again so much again for coming out here. So, you all stay safe. Rock God. And the last thing, I just need a quick pose. Stay tuned.
Hey,
y'all.
thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Buddy.
Keep it real.
Hold on. Up the irons, baby.